Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. It's going to be an interesting show because we don't have Sawyer here tonight, and maybe nobody will interrupt us. Ezra, how are you, Ezra?
How you doing, Heshy?
My co-host, Ezra Levy, tonight, my counsel, my friend, a man who's taking care of me, and he's not going to, and you're advising me, I did not put Sawyer in the hospital, by the way. We want to wish Sawyer a healthy recovery. Sawyer is in the hospital, had some very minor elective surgery that she took care of, and yes, I think it's some kind of a Botox thing she put into herself. No,
I don't know. I didn't ask, but I heard
was that.
She's on the way home right now.
So you look so beautiful. I don't understand you, sweetheart. Why do you have to go make these fake, what is it, shots, right?
Vanity is vanity, my friend.
I want one of those shots. I think I can look much pretty. I want to look like you, Ezra. You're so handsome.
I'll just keep moving on.
I know, Ezra. I love you. You know what I mean? Anyways, Ezra, welcome to the show. We're going to have a great day today. We're going to have fun. It's you and me.
All right.
And nobody to interrupt us. And I'm going to talk about Carmen. Since she's not here to interrupt
please. I'll let you talk about Veronica Cover, but
Ezra, I say how handsome you are. Wonderful. Of course, there's nobody to do the commercials tonight. Oh, our producer's coming out with the middle finger. He you know what he can do with his middle finger, right?
Let's start with the commercials, my friend.
Right. I'm going to do the commercials tonight. You know who's in charge of commercials? Me. But we're going to have Ezra mix in anyways. But you know who's on first tonight? Plaza Auto Leasing. They're not only a leasing company, but they're also a dealership. You get the best of both worlds. The flexibility to lease or buy any vehicle, make or model, combined with quick service, huge inventory, and easy approvals. There's no financing manager to meet, just a friendly pal sales representative that handles most of the transactions from start to finish without you even having to step a foot in their office. All you have to do is place an order and they'll deliver the car right to your door. What are you waiting for? Become a pal. That means Plaza Auto Leasing guy, whatever it is. You can reach Plaza Auto Leasing, 718-975-9000, 718-975-9000. What's that phone number, Ezra?
718-975-9000. 9,000. There you go.
Wow, Ezra, you have to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, none of the listeners will
I'm
pay
paying attention, but I think we have the nice screen.
We have, by the way, YouTube. Ezra's going to be monitoring your questions and requests. So, Ezra, ask me any question. I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah, I know that.
Then, of course, we have Green Line Building Solutions. We're located at 202 Foster Avenue. We do plans, permits, DOB violations, vacate orders, inspections. I'm helping people left and right with their sign-offs. 718-871-0382. 718-871-0382. Yes, you can find Heshy over there. Green Line Building Solutions located at 202 Foster Avenue. We have parking over there for all your professional building solutions. 718-871-0382. Did you remember that? I said it so many times.
718. Yeah, I'm not good with numbers.
871-0382.
What did I get my permit?
Gosh, yeah, you're killing me.
Let's get the permits there.
Anyways, right. Anyways, we have, of course, a very important guy, Ezra Levy.
That number I do know.
So, Ezra, what is your number?
917-755-1187.
917-755-1187. Ezra Levy, attorney at law. Ezra is not a joke. Ezra is serious. He comes to your aid. He helps you get out of trouble. He advises you. He guides you. He really does it so well. And I know you guys are saying, oh, I'm pitching and bragging or whatever. No, Ezra really helped me. Ezra took me from the ground up. But it wasn't only that, Ezra, what you did. You gave me confidence. You spoke to me when I got too haughty and tried to push you around. You weren't mean and pushed back. You spoke to me calm. You explained the situation. And you told me you want to freak out, go ahead. But you gave me the pros and the cons. I was very proud of you. Please, everybody, call Ezra Levy for any VD you needs. Give him a question. Give him a call. What's your phone number, Ezra?
917-755-1187. You could also email me at EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com.
EzraLevyLawFirm@gmail.com. Really, I thought Ezra spelled easy R-A-H. That's the right way of doing it.
I never...
You're trying to take a shortcut. Well, I believe
we have to save on the ink, you know?
We got to save on every letter. I got that. Baruch's Barbershop, and I'm not going to even find that. Located at 108 Avenue Y. Baruch, I'm coming in for a haircut. The other night he calls me and he puts me on this, what's it called again, Instagram thing.
Yes.
With all his buddies. Very nice people from London and all over, and I was trying to tell them stories. Very nice place. 108 Avenue Y. You can reach Baruch's Barbershop at 718-758-5187. 718-758-5187, or you can call and text or WhatsApp Baruch personally to schedule your appointments at 347 847-845-9131, 347-845-9131, or 718-758-5187. Now, as I say these commercials, as the little poster pops up on the screen next to me. So, guys, you don't have to remember everything I'm saying. I'm guiding you through to look at the thing, take a picture of what's going on, and call these people because these people are very, very nice
Or just keep watching the show over and over
That's
again.
right. Keep watching the show over and over again. They're very, very nice people. And, of course, we have Traveler's Choice. This is the first time we're ever going to put up a logo for Traveler's Choice.
Oh, right.
I hope the producer doesn't mess it up. Joseph and Devorah Leifer. Wonderful people. Contact them at 212-868-8698 for all your travel needs, car, travel, hotel. If you need one of these, right now when you had to go to Israel before they stopped it, you needed one of these visas or whatever it's called. He knew how to get it.
Oh, the Yeshua from Israel? Yeah.
Right. He knows the gossips. He knows all the little tricks. He's always up to date. One of the guys were calling with me that had a trouble, and I put him on the phone with Joe, and he says, listen, that's old rules. You don't know the new rules, and I teach you how to get there. Joseph and Devorah Leifer, Traveler's Choice. For all your travel needs, there's no choice but to use Traveler's Choice, 212-868-8698 for all your travel needs. That's your only choice for travel. Anyways, we have my favorite attorney besides you.
I know James, so it's okay.
James is really, this guy is really, he's very good, and he's not going to like today's joke, by the way. He's really not going to be happy with what I'm going to tell you. He's a high-ranked traffic lawyer, former criminal lawyer, dedicated to all moving violations throughout New York State. James handles all points-related moving violations in New York City, Long Island, and upstate New York. Speeding, red light, cell phone, stop signs, failure to yield, and improper turn in traffic offenses, with stiff penalties including huge fines, points, increased insurance rates, suspensions of your driver's license, and even being arrested. The law offices of Jay Meadows is your best chance of beating your traffic ticket. And what's his number? 845-TICKETS. Say it.
845-TICKETS.
Very good.
Hey.
We see how we're a good team. Screw Sawyer. We don't want you anymore. No, Sawyer. We love you, baby.
Get back. Get well soon. We need you.
Get back quickly. We need you. 845-TICKETS or 845-842-5387. James Meadows. And I'm really serious. I was driving on 65th Street. I promise you I'm not going more than 20 miles an hour. I promise you I was in the right lane. I had to go around the double parked car. The cop saw me. I stopped at the red light. He's watching me. There's no way but to go to make a right turn, but I was in the left lane. There's no way to get into the right lane. He saw me turn, and I called up James crying and screaming. He says, listen, Heshy, you're not going to win on the merits of the case. You're going to win because I know the technical code, I know the law, I know what I'm going to do. And he was very reassuring, and James wins. James is not a joke. 845-TICKETS, 845-842-5387. I recommend everybody to use him. He's a really serious player, and I really like him. And please, guys, use him. And we're done with our commercials. You see, when Sawyer's not around, we're 6 minutes ahead of schedule.
Let's get going.
What are we going to do with ourselves?
We'll figure something out.
Let me see. Did I get any texts? By the way, guys, you could Oh, somebody just called. I just went to, what did he say here? I just called. We went straight to voicemail, but voicemail was not full. Someone please make sure Heshy Tishler has a number so he can leave a message. Anyways, they're giving me de Blasio's phone number. I'm going to give it out to everybody anyways. 917-833-2918. Everybody call de Blasio.
And wish him a great future.
Tell him a great future that he should rot and burn in hell. 917-833. Now, they're all going to say I gave out his number. Somebody sent it to me. 917-833-2918. Don't leave
Bye-bye, Bill.
Don't threaten him. Don't tell him he's going to die.
Just wish him a look.
Yeah,
wish him a happy new year.
Wish him good luck and goodbye.
Good
but
riddance.
he's not going to pick up the phone for you anyways. And if you leave a bad message, somebody did that many years ago. They got in trouble. Hey, this is his phone number, and I don't really care. You people can give up my phone number, 718-288-7844. If you want to call into the show, you call into the show at 718. What's our phone number? I don't even know what it is. Hello? 208-82. No, what's our number? 289-0070. 718-289-0070. You can email me at JustinFHeshy. You can text me at 718-288-7844. Yes, I have the phone right here to listen to the messages. What else? And whatever.
You can you join the chat room.
And you can join the chat room on YouTube. You can watch us live on YouTube. You can watch us live on Facebook. Call into the show. We have a lot to talk about. But right now, I want to tell you my quote of the day.
Go ahead.
It's such a great quote. We are not passengers on this planet of Earth. We are the crew members. And the reason I say this to you guys, we are going through lots of trouble, lots of mandates. People are pushing you around. So you're sitting on a plane where a tough, mean, nasty stewardess tells you and bosses you around, and you think you're going to sit there. You know, today a young boy came into my office, and he tells me I've been smoking, he's 17, 18, smoking pot since he's a little kid. And I'm screaming at him. I said, you can do whatever you want. You want to go wealthy, you want to be poor, you want to do whatever you want to do, be my guest. Nobody's going to stop you. But do you want to fight? I was 13 years old. You know, yesterday I was invited to a bar mitzvah. I had an event. I wasn't feeling so well. I wanted to go home early. And the widow is a widow, a mother of four. And I know you understand this,
Right,
Ezra,
sure.
but she's a widow of four little kids. The oldest was 13 years old.
Unfortunately, I went through that as well. I
Okay.
lost my father when I was 5, and I was the oldest son.
And so she's there, and she invited some people. There was holy rabbis. She says, Heshy, I want you to come. I want you to speak. I want you to be the star. I said, but, you know, I'm nobody. She says, please come. And when I came, people took pictures, and I had a beautiful speech. I had the best time of my life at this little bar mitzvah. It was just so cool. Not that I was a star there, that this widow made this bar mitzvah, and she let me join in on this celebration that she it's just for her and her kids.
Beautiful.
And she brought people in. And the people that came celebrated. We enjoyed this little party. It wasn't a big, beautiful, one of your events that where your people go, Ezra, and you have
Our people,
9,000
actually.
people.
Our people.
Whatever, or your neighborhood. You have 9,000 people that show up at a wedding. Me, you're lucky we have 300-400, and even then I don't like half of them. You people make believe you like everybody.
I had my wedding in Borough Park, if that helps.
Okay.
Anyway, we have Yuda Silber is wishing a refuah shalema to Soya.
Soya, very nice.
All right.
Soya, we all wish you the best. And again, Soya, you understand. You are not a passenger here. You're a crew member. We're going to make things better. We're going to help other people. We're going to do good. And guys, this is my thing to you. And I'm going to start my show with this quote. And I want to tell you what my problem is, Ezra, because I have a personal problem. As you know, I have a lot of personal problems.
Let's do one at a time.
Right. Well,
Okay.
here's my joke of the day. And this James is not going to like. I'm driving down the street on 65th Street. And the police officer tells me, I don't understand. He pulls me over. He says, you know you were speeding? Didn't you know you were speeding? I says, yes, I did. He says, you know you cut 2 lights? Do you know that? I said, yes, I did. And he says, do you know that you cut a stop sign? I said, yes, I did. He says, you know you almost hit that the pedestrian? He says, yes, I did. He says, then if you know all this, why didn't you stop? He says, I didn't see you.
There you go. That's about time you came up with a half-decent joke.
And he stood there in shock a little bit, you know what I mean? Like I was in, you know what I mean? And he says, you know, you're lucky, Heshy. I know you are. I should be giving you 9 tickets. James will be busy forever. So, James, you only got 1 ticket, James. Please, James, do not charge me so much. I'm broke this week. Anyways, I'm not going to
Can I
speak.
suggest you take the bus for a couple days?
Take the bus. Don't leave the house. Don't make protests. Don't cause trouble. I don't know what you want from me. But I want you to, here's my problem, Ezra. And I'm ready to start the show, everybody. You can call into the show at 718-289-0070. YouTube us, messenger us. Here's the deal. And I'm going to start with the mandate problem.
Let's go, because
But here's
I think
what
it's
I
the biggest
figured out,
it's the
Ezra.
topic of the day.
But Ezra, this is what I figured out. And I'm telling you now, you know, I am a regular person like you. You and I struggle. We take care of our families and our enjoyment. And I know who you are. We're fathers. We are family members. I see the way you love your mother, your mother-in-law, your family. You are a family man. That's what you enjoy. Not only do you enjoy, you believe in doing good for others is what your basic, what your inner being is. And I see it, the way you take care of people. You're not, of course you're interested in money, but you're not interested in super wealth to be powerful.
Right.
And that's what I always thought. Who needs to be wealthy? I've been rich. I've been poor. You know, when I was younger, before my brother took everything, I could have been super rich. And through the last 30-something years that I'm with Linda, 40-something years that I'm serving the community, I never wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to do my 8, 10, 12 hours and do my community service. I have enough money to live a good life. And then, of course, I go on doing what I'm supposed to do. But I see that the rich and powerful, Ezra, this is my problem. They work like crazy. They go overboard, and they're entitled to it. I don't want to take away their wealth. They've struggled, they've done the impossible. Bill Gates and George Soros, good for you. But then they take their wealth and they push it on us. They tyrannize the little people.
Right.
They put people, Bill Clinton was a poor beggar with his wife. Now after presidency, he's now a billionaire,
right.
and he pushes his ideals on us. Hey, man, you have no right to do that.
No,
go spend your money, go enjoy it.
I agree
Barack
with you.
Obama was a failure in life, a teacher. Yeah, Harvard educator. He failed. He lost an election to run for state senate.
Right.
He lost. Then he got lucky. He became a senator. And the reason why we elected him was not so much that he was black, but he was because he was young, energetic, change. He spoke well. He was what we wanted.
But it's also, I mean, look, Barack Obama got to office because because of the war and the bad marketing of the war.
Right, but
by
again,
Bush.
whatever.
But yes, but it's true.
But we had ideals what
had
Barack
ideals.
was. Then Barack became president. He became successful. Who does he hang out with? The billionaires, the rich people. He's acting like that. Come on, he had a nice, beautiful wife. He's educated. His job is to have a good life. Instead, now he's just pushing his ideas on the rest of us. So you know what my plan was is I was going to make a couple of dollars, have a great life, do my thing, run for city council, and go on. I see now that's not the way to do things. Politicians are all corrupt. All these billionaires, once they become rich, they have nothing to do with their money.
So they want to spend it.
They spend it. I mean, come on. This is the president of the United States, Bill Clinton. I know he cheated on his wife and ran around. A lot of people do that. Look, Carmen Yeager does, guys.
I don't know about that. Let's leave that alone. Let's stick on Bill Clinton.
So you say if Sawyer's not here, I can say whatever I want.
Our producer said you can't, but let's go on.
Producer. Okay. So here's my deal. Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. Okay, he cheated on his wife. A lot of men do that. We understand that. Whether she forgave him or not is not yours and I business.
Right.
That's hers.
That's his marriage.
Here's my problem.
The fact he took care of, he raped a few women on the side, this is a separate issue.
So here's my problem with Bill Clinton. You went out and you hung out with a guy by the name of Epstein, who was a child molester. Forget that he was already sexually arrested and let go.
Well, you have to
You're
say
president of the United States.
Bill Clinton was a rapist before he was governor.
I got that, but here's a guy who's hanging out with Mr. Epstein. Have a little class. I go to jails and visit the poor and the sick and the rapes. I got that.
Yeah.
I child molesters. But when they come home, I'm not going to be having parties with them.
No, but
I'm not going to be hanging out with them. And these guys, with their power and money, think they can do whatever they want and tyrannize other people.
Well, that's what politicians are, unfortunately. But you're not a politician. That's one thing I will say about you. You're not. You've run for city council. You've participated.
But that's
in
what I
elections,
want to make the change.
But you're not a politician. That's what's refreshing about you.
People are upset with me. Says Heshy. Today I was speaking to a very high people on the inside, one of the big organizations. He says, Heshy, I don't understand. You're that stupid. I mean, you run a business, you help everybody. You believe the politicians in the last meeting you had with them that they were going to help you? Don't you know you're lying? I said, but I told my friend, I don't want to say his name. I said, but they sat me down, 5 of them. Why would they lie to me? Because they knew that I would come back angry the next time. He says, politicians don't live for the future. They live for the day. They live to take over now. And once they beat you, they'll figure out another way in the future how to get you.
Exactly. I mean, look, the rule of politics is very simple. Get elected the first time and work on your re-election for now until the end of time.
I didn't know, Ezra.
That's really what it is.
I'm not naive. I'm not a stupid guy like you and me.
You're idealistic.
Right, but my point is, I really thought what was going on with the pandemic and all these lies, it's the truth. This pandemic, are you all going to say Heshy's crazy? It's a lie. Today I was talking to my friend at Chase Bank. Do you know that they're closing the branch, one of our branches here, because a lot of them are not vaccinated? Chase is now accepting anybody not vaccinated can't come to work.
And it's out of hand also. It's ridiculous. We have police forces around the country, first responders. The first responders who actually risked their lives when coronavirus was the unknown.
They're not dead. They're not all dying.
And they were. I mean, let's be honest. When coronavirus was unknown, they risked their lives, and everybody was giving them, the standing ovation. There was no therapeutics that we knew would work. There was no vaccination, that's for sure. You know what? I think they earned the right to make their own decision.
Right. And I want you to know something. Joe Biden said, The reason why President Trump was no good was 200,000 people died under him during COVID.
And I think the number of that hit Joe Biden exceeded
800,000.
But yeah, within 10 months.
Now I understand that the numbers are lies. Don't get me wrong.
Of course, well, we all know the numbers are
trick us.
Yeah.
But again,
it's the same name of. The way they're counting the numbers hasn't changed.
Right.
So if you go in with a gunshot wound, but you test positive for corona, you didn't die from corona. You didn't die from the gunshot wound.
And they're not dying, and they're not all vaccinating. Yes, 74%. People should vaccinate only because I was yesterday in an interview with somebody in Ohio, and I was on his show, and we spoke about I'm going to be on a debate about drugs, and so we spoke about what's going on here with the masks. It's crazy that you're doing this to us again, even though Mr. de Blasio says, I'm not going to shut down the city. Now, you put us in a point where
there's a very good reason that de Blasio is not going to
Nobody's going to listen.
Well, that's one. But I think the bigger thing is he really wants to go see he wants to go to Times Square, see the ball drop, because when people clap, he's going to actually think they're clapping for him.
Right.
It's the first time to get an ovation in his life.
But the problem is are the police going to enforce the 1 million people to wear masks and vaccines?
How are they?
But again, they can pick on people. I want you to know.
How are they? I mean, I look, again, are they? I can't. You'd like to think that they won't. There's going to be obviously some who will.
Haters. There are haters.
Yeah, you're going to have some who will.
I was speaking now. There's an investigation now in the building department of not corruption, of bigotry, of what's it called again, of racism. And it's really, there's a bunch of articles on it, and they're really investigating it. And a couple of high inspectors told me there are supervisors that purposely come after the Jewish community, that they have nothing better what to do, and they make policy, not only in the Jewish community, they really go after different races or people that can't fight back, and they're happy to give violations. They're not there to help us. And the supervisor tells me, I don't want to, I don't want to do this, but they're forcing us to go after the Jews or make more. They're forcing.
Of course, that's usually an unelected bureaucrat. They can't do anything about it.
There's nobody to oversee it, and that was my thing, getting in there to do it. And I've called Carmen Yeager. Carmen Yeager again voted for 800,000 illegal people to be elected.
Right.
Didn't stop it. Carmen Yeager is not fighting the mask mandates. Why, Mr. Carmen Yeager? Where are you? Do you know where he was the other day? I wanted to tell you. Do you know where he was Sunday?
I'm not going to ask.
He was at a Christmas party.
He's a politician. Let's keep going.
A Christmas party, but here's the beauty of it. No masks.
And no mandate. And
everybody sitting next to each other.
No vaccine cards?
No vaccine. Now explain to me. Here's the man who's, even if he's against it, he's the one who voted for it the first time. He's got to follow the mayor's rules. He hugs the mayor. I don't understand you.
Well, the rules are for me and you. They're not for our politicians.
No, so here's my...
They're not for our politicians.
So here's my plan.
They're greater than us, Heshy.
My plan
They're
is...
superhuman beings.
Yeah, but my plan is like this. And here's what I want to do. I want to not do any more charity. I want to not anymore just work 8-hour days. I'm going to be like Bill Gates and George Soros.
No.
Wait. Listen to my plan. I'm going to work 20 hours a day. I'm going to make not 100 million. I'm going to make $100 billion.
I make the $100 billion, but
then I'm going to go after everybody. And not only is it going to be a revolution, I am going to revolt. I know it's illegal to say this, but it's only speaking right now, Mr. Mayor. I will attack the White House. I will attack the mansion. God forbid I will ever hurt you.
You're not going to attack. You just got paper them to death.
Look at this. I love my lawyer.
I think we're
going to pick up a phone call.
All right. Hello?
Hello? I think you lost him.
Hi,
hello.
Who's this, Heshy Booby?
Yes, this is Heshy.
It's your friend Lenny. How are you, my friend?
My God, Lenny, I love you. So, you are the nicest. I just want to tell everybody that you don't like when I hug you because you think I'm going to kiss you all over.
I think you gave me corona.
I'm going to put you over my knee, Lenny. You just watch. In a good way. No. That sounded bad also.
Let's just keep going.
Keep going. I better shut up.
Listen, Heshy, I joined the show late. I'm sorry. I just joined now. But I was wondering if you were reaching anything with the latest promotion in the police department.
We discussed that last week with our incoming police commissioner.
Yeah,
she's supposed
I'm talking about a particular promotion this week with a deputy inspector that made inspector that I think is a little mishuggah in the head.
Yes, we did not want to bring anybody into
I
that.
didn't say any names yet.
Right,
If that's
right.
your policy, then I won't do
No, no,
it.
no, no, no. You can say whatever you want, and you know
Well,
what?
I think there's a lot of people in Brooklyn South, and I think there's a lot of people in Manhattan South that aren't too pleased with this. And I'm retired a long time, and I still have friends within the department, and I still have friends within the Jewish community. And, it's not sitting well with a lot of people. It's not my fight. I'm just a nice guy that's retired. But like I said, I never heard of a promotion 13 months into it, and other commanders that have had, numerous commands under their belt, and been up to the podium in Kronstadt a couple of times, a lot of times, and then this happens.
So can I just ask one question? I'm sorry. Can I just interrupt and ask one question? Who signed off on this promotion?
Well, it's the mayor's office.
The police commissioner, but
Is
then
it
again,
is it the outgoing police commissioner or
no, yes, it's
right?
the outgoing police commissioner.
So we already know that Dermot Shea takes his orders directly from the mayor's office. So
the mayor's office and a particular person in Crown Heights.
Okay. But the mayor's
office and a particular person in Crown Heights that happens to be a female.
Okay, what I'm suggesting to you is...
I'm not giving any names.
No, I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not. So let's just... what I'm suggesting to you is...
They labeled this newly appointed inspector like he's the Mashiach.
Right.
Come back. He's the Mashiach. Come back.
I hear what you're saying. As I was saying is it's not unheard of for outgoing politicians to pay off their political debt on their way out the door.
Lenny, I want to tell you something.
The political debt. Wait. If I could just get this in, the political debt is kissing Tukis. Is that it?
Usually.
To kiss somebody.
Usually.
Usually. That's what you missed, Lenny.
That's what we were discussing before you called in.
That that's what I tried to make a deal with the politicians when I ran, and they screwed me because I trusted them. I'm not like them. Their game is they live for today, and they'll worry about screwing you in the future or worry about getting there in the future. I worry about my people of the future. I care about them every single day. I don't kiss ass. I make deals. I try to do favors, and I get favors back. But you're right, Lenny. You know what the problem is? Like I was telling Ezra before you called, I do my 8, 12-hour days. Then we have our community service in the morning at night. That's what you do, Lenny. You are a good man. That's what Ezra does. We do our jobs. We take care of our family, and we serve our fellow man. Yes, we want to make a good living. We'd like to be wealthy. But we don't go out of our way to abuse the privileges. These people go for power. They go for hungry for money, and then when they get all this, they accomplished it. There's nothing to do with their power, and they go out and hurt others. And you're right. Our friends,
I believe
yours
what
and
you
my
just
friend,
said.
Lenny, yours and my. We have a friend that got hurt very badly, and I don't want to say anything, but it's not only him. Many of us get punished because we try to do good and we stand in the way of the bullies, and sometimes we can't stop them and they run us over, and it hurts me.
See, this is my point, and I don't care who's listening. There is nobody out there that could give me any advice. I'm retired. I live a good life, but I just think that this person is a bully hiding behind an inspector's badge, and I think that the community, at least people that want to hobnob with him, think he's like the new Mashiach when there isn't a Jewish officer that could say that this person, because he is a total monster.
Okay.
And I have the right to say whatever I want to say.
Of course you do. And I think, and hopefully, look, as I said, hopefully the incoming commissioner is gonna change.
He's running around telling people in the Flatbush community that he'll be a chief within a year.
Wow.
And I feel bad for the commanding officers, the 7-0, the 6-7, the 7-3, Manhattan, anywhere, that they have to go to podium once a month and present why crime is going up. And this man rides around in an unmarked car, basically going to every Jewish party that there is. Where is the accountability? They had a detective in Adam Barish that used to get paid a lot less money than this man does.
All right, Lenny,
Who's controlling him?
I just want you to know, Lenny, I went to a party by Mark Capelli. He had a party with, to bridge the gap between black and white minorities. And when I got there, he told me that he had the police there just in case I would come to escort me out when Kalman Yeager was there. And Kalman Yeager is our councilman who's supposed to be one of us. Instead, what did he do? He sits with a rat. Now you're going to say, oh, Heshy, well, there are rats all over the place. This guy on national television called the mayor, told the mayor addresses where
we have another month and a half until we can discuss it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Heshy. Another month and a half.
Lenny, I'm scared to get. My lawyer doesn't want me to get in trouble and keep names out of it because he doesn't want them to come after me. But you know what, Lenny? You and I, we've put in a lot of time, and we're going to stand before the Holy Maker.
Lenny, thank you for your call.
Lenny, I love you, Lenny. Lenny, you hung up on Lenny? I'll kill you. Lenny promised to take me out to dinner.
So let's go back. I mean, I think we've been discussing something, and I think Lenny's call highlights it.
Yeah.
So
my point is, so screw you and me doing good. No more good, Ezra.
I don't think that should be our intention.
We are going to be super duper rich.
No,
screw everybody, and then take our power and tyrannize it another. Because unless we have $100 billion, we're never going to accomplish anything.
I disagree with you about that. I disagree with
you. I also disagree.
No,
but I don't see any other. I don't see any.
But I think we all saw that there's a resistance for it.
What resistance? What resistance?
You remember the guy was a guy.
You remember
this guy was
a mask? I love you. Honest, did you wear a mask in the last few days?
Did I wear a mask in the last few days? Only if I went to a place that asked me to wear a mask.
So I now force a lawyer who vaccinated, who's a father of children.
First of all, I'm not vaccinated.
Really, I love you so much.
So I'm not vaccinated.
At least somebody on the show. I'm a wussy. I'm vaccinated.
You're not. And I'll tell you something.
People screaming at me.
My family's. Look, I'm not vaccinated for my own personal reasons. I spoke to my rabbi about it. I'm also.
But you're a smart man.
You're
not a baby. You're not a dumb.
I also do my own research.
Right.
And I will tell you something. I have a cousin who is vaccinated, who's a chiropractor. The only reason he vaccinated, he did for his own personal reasons. I respect him, but we
don't want to be poor. We want to work. We want to have jobs.
That's not that. His father-in-law is very sick, and he went to visit his father-in-law. And his father-in-law's, loved ones.
You know what's happening now? The hospitals have a new rule. You can't go in. Only one person.
That's even worse. I'll tell you a story. My chavrus says, his wife's due next month. B'shat tova. He's not vaccinated. They told him yesterday, she's going now every week because for her visits. You can't accompany her,
right?
Unless you're vaccinated. He goes, what happens when she goes into labor? He goes, we haven't decided yet.
I just want you to know. Crazy? I want you to know. Today, I had a young boy.
I suggested to my friend to do it the old-fashioned way. Call the doctor to come to your house.
But I had a young boy who had a baby 2 weeks ago. A very nice boy, Penny, his name is, I don't want to say his last name. The baby got sick. He took it to the hospital in the emergency room. They wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't release the records. They were saying COVID. They were keeping
to his own fault.
Today, their own fault. I swear to God, I have the text. I
believe you.
So quickly, I got him some numbers because my mom and these I'm close with. I got him a number of a very high lady. I called the vice president, and we got him the records released, and we got the baby released. But again, not everybody could call me. I can't help everybody. Again, tyranny is being led. I'm forcing Ezra Levy, a father of children, a lawyer, an attorney. I'm not bragging or building you up, but a man who's gone through life, who's been to hell and back and seen the worst of the worst. And I'm treating you like a little kid, Ezra. And that's the problem. And you're treating me like a little kid. Today I was sitting with Linda, and she put on a mask, and Linda is double Pfizered, and I'm embarrassed. I'm just embarrassed. I don't know what to say.
I mean, again, you asked me if I was wearing a mask. I went to a mask just because for the last couple of days I was telling our producer, other than doing law, I also work for my father-in-law and I go on the road for him once in a while. And I didn't want to have it. I just didn't want to affect his job. I didn't want him to get any bad reports that could affect his business.
Right.
So I mean, it's also you walk into the establishment. If they
now you understand me. I didn't want to vax, but I had to vax.
I understand. Look, you also running.
For me to lose.
You also at the time you were running, and it would have been impossible for you to run your campaign. Look. I respect. It's a personal choice, and I think that's where we lose.
Are you right? I am.
I think it's a personal choice.
Greedy man, and I did it out of personal greed.
It's not it. You made your choice. And that's fine.
Right.
And that's fine.
Like you said, it's my choice.
And that's fine.
And I tell everybody, it's your choice. The problem of forcing, so again, last night on this show that I went on the show, they were all upset because they don't vax outside of New York. They're not being forced like we are here.
Right.
And they were making fun of me. And I said, listen, the reason I vaxxed was not that I was forced to vax. I didn't give in to the pressure, but I have so many things to do. And they said, well, fight. I said, I do fight. I fight for the others. But there's only so much fighting somebody has in him, and I just can't keep fighting on every front by myself. Right. I don't have. That's my problem. The people did not come out to back me.
I'll tell you something else. Just my 16-year-old stepson. He was last week. He was talking to me, my wife, and myself. He says he wants to get vaxxed. Now nobody in my wife's family is vaccinated. My children, her sisters, my brothers-in-law, my in-laws, none of them are vaccinated. So I asked him why you want to get vaccinated. He goes, because I can't do anything anymore.
Right.
He goes, if you want to be able to do anything, you have to go get vaccinated. I looked at him. I go, I'm not. I told him straight out. I go, I understand where you're coming from. You're right that that's ridiculous, but we're still not giving your brother's still not giving you permission. And I don't think. And if you want my 2 cents, you shouldn't be doing it right now. But the thing is, again, it's what they're mandating these days. To the fact that there was even the pending legislation in the states in the state legislature that as soon as the FDA, it said. Pfizer and Moderna is safe for kids. They want to mandate it as part of being so you could go to school, even private schools.
Right.
Now I'm telling you,
we've had this 16-year-old kid, how smart he is.
We've had this discussion, and I'm not. I have.
And he has almost no chance of getting COVID. No, and even if he gets it, he's going to get better.
He did get COVID. Yeah. Okay, because when COVID, when the
what do you mean he got COVID? Explain to me what he got.
We had an
deathly ill.
No. So we had an outbreak in our family around Rosh Hashanah of last year. When everybody else was getting sick. When it was really going on in the community. One of my daughters, her friend got married. She came, apparently, she came to visit. My daughter stayed with her in the car. My daughter's friend while she knew her parents were sick, she didn't have any symptoms, so she thought she was safe. She had the virus, transmitted to my daughter, who transmitted to another daughter.
How bad was it?
The only one who really had bad symptoms was myself. I was sick for 3 weeks.
Really? What do you mean by sick? Now here we are.
Okay, so we could see I'm a little overweight.
Okay, whatever. So what do you mean by sick? Could you breathe?
Well, that's the whole thing. So I was coughing up pretty badly.
So for 3 weeks. That's when you get it. When you get the flu in the morning. That's
no, it was a little worse. It was a little.
Did you take medicines?
I couldn't because
you couldn't.
You see, that's the thing. I couldn't. No, it's very simple. I have stomach issues, so my doctor told me not to. But I have a friend who's an infectious disease doctor. He was telling me we did natural treatments.
I want to interrupt you. I have a friend, Shane D. She got married 2 days ago.
Mazel tov.
Yes, and she's just wonderful. Her and her husband Avi. They're watching our show. They just got married. I couldn't go to their wedding because it was in Lakewood, and I really was chasing Kalman Yeager to try to catch him.
So you couldn't make the wedding, yes?
I couldn't make the wedding. I'm dying to go to the. I want to go to. They're watching a show. First of all, Mazel Tov, congratulations. She's such a not beautiful. I'm sorry, she's beautiful anyways.
A beautiful person.
No, but I remember the way she talks, the way she treats other people with respect. I love you, Shani. You are just. I'm not talking in a way delicious. I'm talking wise, that you are God's a wonderful gift to us. And I'm not building you up. This is, I'm proud. I'm proud to be your friend. I'm proud that you let me be your friend. And your beautiful new husband that's joining our team, thank you. And you're always welcome at my house anytime you want to come over, you guys. I love you. Wow, that was very nice.
So, what we were talking
So, again, you were sick.
I was sick.
You couldn't take medicine.
I couldn't take medicine.
Nothing?
I took vitamins, zinc, and all the other
Tylenols?
stuff. Tylenol was about it.
So you had no fever?
I had no fever. I had a terrible cough, a lot of pain, a lot of fatigue.
Of course you had a terrible cough. It's like bronchitis.
Well, yeah.
You ever had bronchitis?
Yeah, unfortunately I did.
Okay, so again, you understand, you're not the only one.
No, but you see, the ironic thing was doctors were afraid of this at this time, right? So because this is before pre-vaccine
days. You're blowing
us
us all out of there because you were talking crazy stuff.
Right, this was pre-vaccine days. So my doctor, who was a tremendous person, he was just, we're on the phone day and night. He was leaning towards sending me to the hospital. He said, let's monitor it. After 3 weeks, Baruch Hashem, I'm fine. So the kids, a couple of the kids, my wife was done within 2 days.
Were you in any danger of dying?
No, none at all.
Were you scared of dying?
Was I scared of dying? Not yet.
But you were okay.
No.
You were scared of the cough. I got that.
I will tell you something.
I'm going to give
in full disclosure. My wife's grandfather, yesterday would have been his 97th birthday. Okay, Grandpa Sid went to the hospital.
Wow.
Went to the hospital with COVID symptoms.
I love you, Grandpa Sid.
Hashem should keep. He's watching over us right now.
Okay.
So Grandpa Sid went into the hospital with 97. It was 95. World War II Navy vet. Served. Nothing could take him down. So Grandpa went in. He had COVID. Unfortunately, got worse, and and he beat COVID. The problem is he couldn't get out of the hospital quick enough to live.
Okay.
So he aspirated to death. He didn't die from COVID, but they marked it as a COVID death.
I know.
And one of my brothers-in-law unfortunately lost his father to COVID right before last part.
I want to tell you.
So I'm not minimizing the reality. COVID is serious.
Forget COVID. It's now Delta. Now Delta is.
And Omicron's even a joke.
I know that, and they just try. We need something big. We need something to blast us out of this. Something big news like I don't know, like Atlantis coming up from the ground, or they find a Godzilla, so the whole world will forget about this fake. I know you guys are telling me it's not fake. Of course it's not fake. Of course there's the flu. Of course 600,000 people.
It's nothing more than the flu. That's the thing.
Over the last 3 years, the death rate has not increased throughout the world.
That's true.
Okay, so you're right. COVID numbers are up, but all the rest of the diseases are down.
Well, it's not, again. Let's be very honest about this. The cause of death, when you see cause of death COVID, you should always look at every case and reanalyze it 14 different ways, because A, hospitals get paid more when it's a COVID. B, there's a lot of politicians who love the fear because it gives them more power.
Would you like to hear a funny story?
Sure.
I went to see somebody doing the PCR tests.
Right.
You know what they are?
Sure.
So I figured, me, you, Ezra, we do a test, we give it in, and the guy has a machine or he gives it to a laboratory. I went to a guy whose machine is running 24/7. He's making so much money you wouldn't believe it. 24/7. Now, my brother just walked in. He's a very religious young man. He believes in COVID. You know that?
He believes in God, but he
believes that the whole world is going to blow up. He believes the markets are going to crash and we're all going to burn in hell because we're all no good. Now, my brother Shia doesn't understand the world is not going to crash. The world is a place. There are moments in life. Somebody told me yesterday, Heshy, what happens if we're able to go back in history and kill Hitler?
Right.
Okay. Here's the deal. It's not possible.
It's not possible. Somebody else would have done it.
No, but even but let's just say you would have gone back and killed Hitler. You think there wouldn't have been somebody
else would have done it.
And here's my point. Why go back to Hitler, dumbbell? Let's go back to the Garden of Eden. Let's kill the snake. And nobody would have ever done it. Right there. We killed the snake. You see, that's why I'm the smartest. Shandy and Avi, you don't ever go back in time. Whatever happened in the past, you are delicious, wonderful people. My friend got married, this young, beautiful, gorgeous woman. And I want you to know, whatever happened in the past, you should know, I bless you, that your future should be so great, so powerful, that you should never even consider about the past or going back in the past or making changes. I've never regretted my past. Sure, I've had issues in the past. Sure, me and my brother Shia used to fight, and my brother was very cheap. He never used to give me cigarettes. He never used to give me cigarettes.
He wants you to live long life.
Oh, please. He's smoking.
What's good for him? He knows how dangerous it is. That's why.
Very bad. You know what I mean? He tells him, see, look at him. He's all white and I'm black hair. Only because, not that I color my hair.
No.
I'm looking.
No.
You shouldn't be talking. I'm going to make fun of your hair in a minute.
But it's a natural color.
Ezra, I'm having more fun with you than without Sawyer today. Sawyer, I feel better. I love you, Sawyer. Do we wish Sawyer a
100% for Shalom. I wish she came back. I mean, she might. She said she was coming out. She said she might make a cameo appearance.
Oh, I told her at least call into the show.
Yeah, but she should just feel better.
But again, do you like my thing? People saying I was getting questions. Why don't we go back? Why? I honestly think
that's the smartest answer I've ever heard. Right, why stop at Hitler?
Right. There's so many places in history that we could have made changes, that we could have done better. We could have fixed everything. And again, Egypt, slavery, the Bible, all of these things could have been fixed. And remember, if you go back and kill Hitler, then nobody really knows how to make the changes. By going through these terrible times, that's why the future is so important. We have to learn. We have to make life better. Look at us. We have better health care. We have, people were dying in 1918 from that stupid pneumonia. You had people, the market's crashing. Why did the markets crash in 1939? They didn't know how to run the economy. 3 rich people, Carnegie, J.P. Morgan, and the other loser, what was the last guy there? Rockefeller. These 3 men, I'm not talking 700 men or billion. These 3 winners controlled the entire United States, controlled the market, actually got a president elected by bribing this president into power. The funny part is the president got killed, and the guy that they put into vice president, the reason they made him vice president, Roosevelt, because a vice president can never do anything. So they made him vice president. When the president got killed, Roosevelt then went after them.
Yes.
They, see how God punished them? But again, these 3 winners, J.P. Morgan controlled the banks. Carnegie controlled...
Carnegie was oil, I think.
No, Carnegie was steel.
U.S. Steel.
But he controlled more than the steel. He controlled everything in many ways. And of course, you're right, Rockefeller was oil. And he was so powerful. And Rockefeller fought Carnegie and bought steel. It was like back and forth. And then you had Hershey, a guy who built a whole city. He was a very nice man. But again, used his billions to fix him up. And yes, he paid his people a better wage. But he forgot who his people were.
I think, so let's go back to what you started with,
one last thing, Ford. This guy was brilliant. But again,
he was a big momster, but he was brilliant.
He had to create a newspaper, go against the Jews, and tell the people that I'll pay you extra money if you believe in God and do this and that. I mean, these are people that with their money are able to...
manipulate everything. Well, so let's go back to that, right? So you mentioned there's a couple of names. I think George Soros is a perfect example.
A hateful man.
He's a hateful man, right? Unfortunately, he's a member of our tribe, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is,
the truth of the matter is, he was a Nazi sympathizer.
I know that he was.
So he's not a member of our tribe.
He was born into the tribe.
Yeah.
Okay, but so I agree with you. Right, so he's a perfect example.
But even our tribe, don't even say Jews. Jews and Christians, I love all the religions. I'm saying, he is not a religious man. He's an evil person.
He's an evil person. He's using all his money to actually ruin America. There's not been one person, I think, if you look, we all look at the big elections and, you have these crazy members in the squad in Congress. But if you look, the real dangerous people who are in power these days are the county prosecutors, the county DA's office, who refuse to enforce the law. They refuse to enforce the law, and so you end up with, a revolving door where even if you don't have bail reform...
Or they prosecute stuff, which is stupid.
They prosecute stuff where it doesn't need to be. Maybe
so here, just so you know, January 6th, the committee, they're going after people, they're spending a lot of money, they're spending our time. Now, when they find you in contempt, the prosecutor has to do what exactly?
So the U.S. Attorney's Office now has the right to, because there's a citation now that was voted in by Congress, the U.S. Attorney could actually bring criminal charges.
Which they do. Like, look at Stone and the other guy.
Of course. And the question is if they're going to do a Mark Meadows or not.
It makes no difference if he does. Now they have to do this. They have to prosecute a case instead of being busy with murderers, killers, robbers.
But then again, the U.S. Attorney's, the Attorney General's office is a member of Joe Biden's cabinet. And these are Joe Biden's marching orders. Joe Biden is a very stupid person, but he's not as stupid as we make him out to be. So,
What do you mean? Explain to me.
So he's a lot more intelligent than we give him credit for. This is a way to keep control and keep his power. We all know that in 3 years from now, there's going to be, either Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump is going to be mounting a very strong campaign. And we know a lot of, there is a movement now of a populist movement of young Republican people, men of color, women.
Basically, we're going to cheat like them.
No, we're not going
to register everybody on the planet.
You're going to have to.
We're going to have to.
The rule. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Way of doing things. It's wrong.
But the thing is, until now, the Republicans are playing by their own set of rules and Democrats are playing by their own set of rules. When you have two different teams, when you can't play a game where I have my own rules, you have your own rules, because you have to have the same set of rules in order for the game to work. And politics is unfortunately a game.
Can I ask you a question? The Senate right now is what are the numbers of the Senate?
It's 50-50. It's 50-50 with the swing vote going to the vice president of the United States.
Now, there's a guy, a Democrat.
Joe Manchin.
Right. Who they're begging him to switch sides.
Well, so Joe Manchin's not going to switch sides.
Okay, but he might become an independent.
Well, Joe Manchin's always been an independent. I mean, Joe Manchin.
But he's still a Democrat.
Well, people don't give him.
Still a Democrat.
Well, that's because you have to listen. West Virginia, like many southern states, even that if you as conservatives they are, there's still a hatred of Republicans in the South because Abraham Lincoln freed
but
the
if
slaves.
Joe Manchin, who they love, who's been there a while, becomes either an independent, which means the Democrats lose the power.
No, because Bernie Sanders is technically an independent. Joe Lieberman, when he was there, was an independent.
But they both vote Democrat.
He'll continue to caucus with the Democrats.
No. If he becomes an independent, then there's a new vote, and then he gets a right to choose.
He always gets a right.
Mitch McConnell.
He has a right to do it.
Vote up all the time. Right now,
he has a right to do it.
Who's the leader of the Senate?
Right now, it's Charles Schumer.
Why?
Because 50-50 with the swing vote.
So the second he leaves the Democrat, there's automatically a new vote that comes up into Senate, and we could take away the power from Schumer.
They could. It's not necessarily that's what's going to happen because, again, when he at most Joe Manchin he's already said he's not switching sides, but even if he did, he might. If he goes independent, he'll continue to caucus with the Democrats.
Yeah.
And
but they all hate him now. But
it doesn't matter. This is the beautiful thing about the way the Senate is set up. You need, except for spending bills, you need 60 votes to get anything done. Now it's it's spending bills and also
they're changing that law now.
No, they try to. They want to get rid of filibuster. Joe Manchin said, "I'm not for it." So he's always said. And the truth is, nobody wants to. Nobody wants to see the filibuster end, because the way the founding fathers set up the Senate is to make sure that you don't go too radical too quick. And that's a tradition of the Senate.
If the United States people do vote in 60 members of the Senate, and
so let's say next year you have 60 Republicans, 40 Democrats, okay, which is really hard to do the way the map is set, the way America's split these days. But theoretically, if you had 60 Democrats and 40 Republicans, the Democrats could push anything they want.
Okay.
We will have 2 new states in the union. We'll have more. We'll have another 4 justices on the Supreme Court.
Do you want to see Puerto Rico as a state?
No.
Why?
Because honestly, they don't want to become a state.
A lot of people do want to become a state.
Puerto Rico, they don't want to become a state. They've had the opportunity. Anytime they've taken votes.
There's always 50-50.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's also, if you have, the problem with this is, if you're going to have another state,
your mic is
not working. Puerto Rico's already a burden.
You have to talk into the mic.
No,
why would they want them to be a state?
No, they're already burdened, but Puerto Ricans don't want. First of all, Puerto Rico likes it the way they are because if they become a state, then they'd have to stop paying taxes.
They don't pay taxes.
They have a different setup that they have because they're
are
territory.
U.S. citizens.
They're 100% U.S. citizens, so they're getting the benefits of the U.S. citizenship without the responsibilities of it.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, it's the same thing with D.C.
And the second they move into New York and stuff, they could vote like a regular person. It's just that they're going from a territory to a state. So it makes no difference.
Well, it's the same way
if we move to Puerto Rico, we don't have to. We just don't
vote in New York elections.
We don't vote in New York elections, and we just don't have to pay taxes like them.
I'm not sure what their tax structure is there. Right. I know if we could, I'd suggest moving to Florida if you want to save on taxes. It's a little safer, and you still have the right to vote. But I mean, I think the bigger question is D.C. Because that's like the big push is to get D.C. statehood. And you have to understand
D.C.'s not really even big enough to be a state.
Well, you have to understand
the politicians to have their own little place.
Well, you have to understand the reason behind it is very simple.
Yeah,
D.C. Is 90% Democrat. Which means you're going to guarantee one congressperson, one member of Congress, and 2 senators. 2 senators.
2 more senators.
Under the Constitution, every state gets 2 senators.
Really is made up of 3 different states.
It's right. It's part of Virginia.
What's it called? Now, what's that called? It's called.
It's a territory. Do you see?
It's not a territory.
It's not territory. It's a nation's capital.
But it is a word
a district.
It's a district.
It's a district. It doesn't belong to the state. Honestly, and if you want to make DC,
what is it called? Oh, a phone call. Let's take a call. Help Ezra. Ezra does not know how to do it.
No, I haven't learned that.
Right.
So, no, but the thing,
Ezra doesn't even know how to use the cell phone. He has kids for that.
exactly.
Oh, you hung up on the guy? Hold on.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? All right, we're gonna have to hang up. I'm sorry. Get calls back with a better connection.
There's another line. Hello?
No, that was it.
It's coming in. Sorry, they were playing a thing. Anyways,
So that's the thing. I mean, with DC, the truth is, if I heard something last week which makes a lot of sense. DC is
by the
really
way, Puerto Rico would be all Democrat.
that's not necessarily true.
Why?
Because actually, Latinos more and more are becoming more conservative.
I don't know.
So it's not going to be Democrat. It's not going to be. It may be Democrat in the beginning.
Think?
It may be Democrat in the beginning. It might be Democrat in the beginning, but it's not going to be Democratic.
Remember,
it's not going to be Democratic in perpetuity the same way DC will be.
In New York, just as you know, like you told me last week, 800,000 non-citizens
Right.
have become voting.
Have been given the right to vote in New York City elections.
Now, let's be honest. I'm not being prejudiced here. Who are these non-citizens? They're not from the black community. They're not from the Asian community.
Right now, they're Latinos.
Mostly Latinos, okay, from different Spanish communities. You know they're all going Democrat. That's why they were approved.
Yes, but if you look at the numbers these days, the Republicans have always done poorly with Latino votes. But in the last election, I think the numbers was 16%, which is the highest Latino vote they ever got. And the Republican Party has made a concerted effort.
Big deal. 34% we have. We need 50, 60% to win.
No, it's not necessarily.
They
in New
won't
York City,
vote.
No, they do vote.
They do
Won't
vote.
vote.
They do vote.
What are you
They do.
talking about?
They don't want the government to find out.
Oh,
No, that's a
stop.
different
You know
story.
what
They
you're
don't.
talking
But that's
about.
not the issue.
There's a lot of
they
them
care.
that work
No,
in tax. You know
no,
what
no,
you're talking
that's
about.
not the
If
issue.
they're not legal, they're not going to pay
That's not
tax.
true.
That's
They
not
do
true.
pay tax.
That's not true.
Pay tax
They
even
do
though they're
pay
not
tax.
legal?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why the beauty of it. They opened up corporations or LLCs, and they do pay taxes. By them paying taxes, gives them an opportunity to go fight for their citizenship.
Exactly. So, but the thing is, even you say 32% is not going to make a difference. It makes a very big difference because we take 32% of a Latino vote and you combine it with the white males from the age of 35 to 50. Okay, the educated males, those white, business owners. Now you have the suburban mothers who are seeing what's happening with CRT and all the other Michigan that's coming out. All these people will band together, and that's how you get a voting bloc.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Democrats are too powerful, and I'm a Democrat.
I'm not.
I am.
You see, I was because I stopped buying. I stopped buying into the garbage.
You
And you
stop
have
buying
to.
into- the problem is I believe the Democratic theology is correct. I believe.
What is the Democratic theology?
Here's what it is.
Because it's not what it used to be.
Okay, so that's my thinking, the way it used to be.
But that's the thing.
I know what the Democrats are doing now. It's wrong, but I believe that the old way is the right way of helping other people, of letting people be successful to succeed and not take from them.
But that's
These
what
new
but that's
leftists want
the
to
thing.
share and
Yeah,
take.
but you're good, but that's what Republicans are doing today.
Right.
So that's and
the problem with Republicans, any minute they're
But
good,
that's-
they could switch.
that's anyone.
I know.
So you have to go with the tide.
But you're talking, I've been a Democrat since I'm 17 years old. That's 40 years.
I was a Democrat since the time I registered to vote when I was 18 as a Democrat, and honestly, after Mario's son, our last governor, and he started with his stupidity, and I saw what you could read the tea leaves. I switched parties, and it's not to say. By the way, I was already voting Republican on national elections before that anyway.
Hey, I voted for Reagan in 1980.
I was a little too young for that. But I'm saying
but I was one of.
You were a Reagan Democrat.
I was a
Democrat.
Reagan Democrat,
Well,
and I even voted for Bush. You're right. I liked Gore, but I was sick.
Actually, I voted for Gore. I think Gore was the last Democrat I voted for.
The reason I didn't vote for Gore was because I was pissed at Clinton.
I hear you.
And it bothered me that Gore's new theory, and he's the idiot that started with his green thing.
yeah.
He's the idiot that says he created the internet.
I know.
So then I said already, come on, I can't have a president. And right there, it would have been another Biden story.
No, the reason I couldn't vote for Bush the first time is because I hated his father. So that was the reason. But I said the first time because I did vote for Bush the second time, and I mean, unfortunately, I voted for McCain and Romney and all the others. I voted for them. Okay, forgive me.
I'm embarrassed to tell you, I voted for Barack because I really I believed in my heart.
Okay.
Here's a guy. Forget the
The
color.
good news is you live in Brooklyn. You live in Brooklyn.
No,
your vote
but,
meant nothing.
But Barack had a beautiful wife, smart woman, intelligent. The man came from the streets. He knew what it is to put his hands in the dirt.
He was the great American story.
And look what he turned into.
He was the great American story. There's
Anyways,
no doubt
our
about it.
show's coming to an end. Ezra, you are wonderful.
Thank you, Heshy.
Good looking. I'm so happy you got over COVID. Shandy and Avi, I love you. You better invite me to one of your parties because I got a story to tell you. I saw you get better. The rest of you, buckle up, babies. This idiot is going. Eric Adams, I'm right here. I'm watching you. I will go to war. I'm not going to burn down the White House or the Gracie Mansion.
He's not. Heshy's only going to burn a candle at home.
Right,
okay, that's
right.
about it.
But I want you to know, if I do make $100 billion, I'm coming on my horse ready with my tank, and I'm going to stand right out, say, I am going to create an army. Right now, I'm a nobody, and nobody's voting for me anyways. I love you, everybody. Good night. Good night, Ezra.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.